Alright, timestamp. It is December 17th, 2025, about 6:40 a.m. Puppy watch. Because, okay, everybody calm down maybe? Valium? I don't know. They still prescribe that? It's probably mid to high 50s, maybe 60. Got some bordering on sunrise action going on. Ow. One eye. The one eye is still a death trap, in case you weren't sure. There's a Hitchcock film being staged outside, apparently. Everybody hide your french fries and popcorn. Kidding, those aren't seagulls. If you've never been to Florida, and I've heard it's this way in California too, the beach areas. Saw this a lot at Busch Gardens growing up too. French fries, popcorn. The seagulls get aggressive. Flock of something, I don't know. Probably at least 20 of them flying in a loose formation. Hi, yeah, no, we came outside so you could do stuff, not sniff my leg. Y'all were carrying on. Been up probably about an hour. Still a little congested from a health check standpoint. It's a normal day for me though. Got a little crescent moon action going on over there. If I can get that in there. Yeah, there she is, right over the trees. Kind of a sarcastic smile going on. Like a Caitlin Collins grin. Journalist, if you don't really follow the news outlets. Smart lady. Usually asks the questions that need to be asked. And to me, she's always had a very mischievous, even sarcastic grin. That's like her resting face, which honestly makes her attractive to me, but like the Joker's daughter or something. She's one of those journalists that I think is very insightful, sees things for what they are, and because of corporate news in the United States, gets held back from asking the questions that she really wants to, because her corporate overlords won't let her. That's my theory on her anyway. And if you follow the news, you've seen over the past 8 years a few journalists here and there especially on the phone network. I think it's how it's spelled in French. Who had been fired or reprimanded for having outbursts of sincerity. It is slightly nipply outside. Not drastically so. Ready? Grab and go. So, no crate. As soon as I get done with the recording, during my daily captain's log, as it were, I'm going to start moving some stuff into that gap. And while the dining room won't be a dance floor, it will actually seem like a functioning room. There might be the appearance of clutter because there's going to be, should be meat stacks, honestly, though, over here in the corner. Thank you, right? And I got some ideas that should make the room flow and not be displeasing to the eye. And I'm thinking, because this cabinet, there's two of them. They're triangular. They're like for corners and stuff. I'm thinking, which I know that's a dangerous place to be. I know. Full disclosure, I know. But I'm thinking if I turn this and then get the other one out and match it so that the sidewalls are together, it'll create kind of a weird triangular wedge that I can do at the entrance of this room. It'll give me a little bit more shelf storage, as it were. It'll give me 2 more display shelves plus the rooftop of it. Get a piece of furniture somewhere not in the master bedroom. I kind of like the piece. I'm not sure about the glass, because the glass, although it's pretty, it actually like messes up your field of vision for stuff. Oh yeah, I got my kind of my Centauran thing going on. See, Benton is standing watch while Pertwee is doing something to one of the Centauran ships. And then Baker and his group are over here observing from behind the TARDIS. Yes. Ah. There's a bat in my belfry. Yep, that's his butt. Well spotted, Acorn. Come on, Tanner. Let the little guy through. There you go. Whoa. Get a refill of my coffee. Tiny. Woke me up a little bit, but it had been like 6 hours, so I was due anyway. Doing the crate shenanigans, cleaning the area, at least basically getting the crate removed, cleaned, you know. And I've been power mopping the floor there, letting it dry, hitting it again, letting it dry, you know. Can I get through? Thanks. Thank you so much. We're about to kill off a pot of vanilla cream brulee. Alright, just ready to put the coffee back, fellas. Alright, may the sniff fest continue. I went to bed during Talons of Wang Chang and woke up to Stones of Blood. So we're having a Tom Baker day over here on Roku, which cool. Oh yeah. So I got in. This story is both a comedy and a tragedy. there's apparently a mug set out there. Looney Tunes, of course, right? And I'll show you one of them. The guy had, I think there's 4 in the set, I think, from what I've been able to, like, suss out online. He had 7 mugs, basically almost 2 sets. One of them apparently died horribly before I basically bought the lot. He had the lot for like $50, shipping included. I'm like 7 mugs for $50. Looney Tunes, let's go, you know. One of them died a horrible death before he got them in the box, and then the 6 that 2 of them died. So I got 4 out of 7. He gave me like a $10 refund on it, which I'm still pretty okay with because I paid basically $10 a mug. Okay, I'm good to that. Probably should have been more if you're doing the math, but you know what? It's cool. They're cool. They're cool. They're not big. They're like a standard 11-ounce mug, so that part, I wish they were 15s. But each one is basically a Bugs Bunny cartoon. It's like a highlight. What is that? The House Bunny? And it's got like a wraparound scene from the actual animated Big House Bunny, starring Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam, 1950. And then a brief snippet about it. So the downside is the 4 that got here, I got basically, I didn't get a complete set. I have 3 and then a double of one of them. I think I have a double of this one actually. It's just like, so I've got a search on eBay currently for the 4th one. And again, I think there's only 4 because I haven't found like a 5th or a 6th. But I'm not even sure what to search for because there's not a whole lot of keywords to work with. And each mug is named differently because it's named after the cartoon, and I don't know what cartoons they've done. Therefore, the search parameters are a little limited, if this makes sense. It's like searching for a title but not knowing what the title is. Sure, you know. And I've looked up the year and manufacturer and all that. It keeps giving me the 4 that I know of, so I think those are the only 4 they made. This is a great idea, though, because, I mean, hypothetically, because my thought was, you know, did they do like 30 of these? You know, because there have been hundreds of Looney Tunes cartoons, but I'm only finding the 4. And they all seem to be Bugs Bunny, main character Bugs Bunny, centric, whatever you want to call it, cartoons. Which for me isn't really a problem because he's my favorite anyway. But I was hoping there would be one like the Bugs and Marvin one, but not so much. One of them's a Bugs and Daffy and Elmer, which is cool because I don't actually have any Elmer Fudd stuff. You know, when you get something and you realize you haven't had that before. No Elmer Fudd stuff. This one, of course, has Yosemite Sam, which finding Sam stuff is really hard. Not like really hard. Not like, oh my god, I can't do it. But, you know, you're going to find Bugs, Daffy, Taz, Sylvester. In the grand scheme, the percentage factor, you don't find a lot of Sam stuff, like Foghorn Leghorn. You know, Michigan J. Frog. Back when Cartoon Network was a thing, was like a big thing, you'd see a lot more Michigan stuff. Because they were really using the frog as like their mascot, but that was like early 90s. And there are a couple of, full disclosure, there are a couple of Warner Brothers Looney Tunes mugs that I'm watching currently on eBay. that have Michigan on it, because that's when he had his resurgence in popularity. If you're not sure, it's the "Hello, my baby," that guy. Yeah. How can you not love him? It's a classic cartoon, but he got a lot of replay back in the '90s because they were using him in all their like logos and commercials and stuff like that. But that was a few minutes ago. Note lack of manufacturing and date information on the bottom of the mug, because that makes it easier. Exactly. Yes, that was sarcasm. So yeah, we're going to be doing that very shortly. Still got some smudge on the backside that I'm going to get down on my hands and knees and scrub out real quick just to make sure. I don't want, there was a cat crate there, so I don't really want any residue. I'm going to have to blow here in a minute to hang out while I put like plastic totes and whatnot over top. But somehow I think that I'm going to try and avoid, we'll go with bio waste. We'll go with that. Just as a more pleasant term. But yeah, I'm going to be sliding in like current eBay stuff in the space that I'm creating. And then I think I'm going to put the empties in front. Yeah. Yeah. And it should work just fine. That's what a lot of what behind me is either the current eBay stuff that I'm working on or empty totes, empty cardboard, banker boxes. So I should be able to condense that in that area. And the way the wall comes out, I have an extra buffer there to where I can put the empty stuff in front of the current eBay. Makes them easy to move when I'm working on it, because they're lightweight. It's a stack of empty plastic totes, It looks heavy, but it's basically a big box filled with air. Slide right across the floor, no big deal. And again, that'll take away most of the stuff that's behind me. Still have the printer cart and the 2 chairs, but that's fine. The 2 chairs are going to stay there. I've got that little TV with the DVD player in that bookcase over there. So if my feet are having a really awful day, I can sit down and have a good soak. Got some Epsoms over there. I can put in some Scooby-Doo or some Captain Caveman, or I picked up some crazy fun like DVD sets too. Jack of All Trades, it's a Bruce Campbell series that honestly I haven't even seen the whole damn thing. When it came out, my work schedule was ridiculous. I remember that. So I saw an episode here, episode there. But off of Amazon, I got like the whole, I don't know if it's just 1 season or 2 seasons or what, but I got, the entire series for like $20 or whatever. So, if I know I'm going to be sitting in place for an hour or two, I can just pop that in the little DVD player there. Make the station functional. Playing the resource farm game here. It's all very Stardew Valley on crack. If you know, you know. You've inherited your grandfather's farm, and it's a complete cesspool. Good luck, My wife is a huge fan of the game, and I'm a fan. I played it many hours. So yeah, it's kind of we've made those jokes before. We've actually made, and if you play the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. We've made the the comparison that she's actually at the main farm and I'm basically running with Ginger Island, I think. It's kind of that feel. I got Willie to bring me over here in a boat. But we're making progress. I'm feeling, yeah, it's just so roller coastery. I'm feeling good about what we're getting done, and at the same time, my dad broke my heart like a lot yesterday, just because 30 minutes with him, and it's like I can see how broke his brain is, you know, and I can't fix him. 3 times I had to reel him back in because he's getting his stuff together because he's going to come home to see Mom. We're finally there to pick him up, and it's like, we're not, that's not happening, Dad. Well, is Mom with you? Mom died in May, Dad. It's December. I've been here like 2 years. You've been here about 6 months. It probably seems longer. Mom is not waiting for you at the house. Did she move out? Is she divorcing me? Is she mad because I'm here? No, she was incredibly devoted to you. This is the part, you don't say to your dad. She was so devoted to you that she lied to the state of Florida, your doctors, everybody, because she was trying to protect you. She thought because she realized you had dementia or were really messed up, and she was trying to prevent them from taking you away. That's how much she loved you. And it almost put her in like a nursing home jail. She escaped that fate by dying. And he explained that to a guy with a broken brain. Well, you see, and I'm your son. I'm the guy that's trying to fix everything, and it's not working out. Because y'all hid important paperwork and information and made things incredibly difficult because the past 2 years you went into this paranoid phase. We've had a few agencies over the past month, our lawyers ask, we need this information, can you get that for us? And we're like, no. We can try to, but we have no idea. How do you not know? My dad hid everything. Why did you do that? You don't know he's in final stage dementia, right? You want to keep asking silly questions? You know that's a pretty common thing, right? And we've had some people that are like, oh, okay, yeah, you're probably dealing with a mess over there. It's like, oh, yeah. But there are some that don't really understand what goes on, and they're like, well, just, it should be right there. I'm sure, you have access to it. And it's like, we are probably on the property where it exists, yeah. Unless he burned it or gave it to Chuck the Wonder Idiot. Yeah, because that's possible too. And if Chuck had it, his family probably has it and is going, what is this stuff? Or they looked at it and threw it away because they're like, this isn't even his. What is this? I don't even know who to ask. No idea. I barely knew him, much less, I don't know his family. I've got no contact information other than his. No idea. No idea. the only situation there would be is if something weird was going on with that, and the cops had his Chuck's stuff in impound while they tried to sort out what happened. Then, you know, I don't even know how all that will work. This is the stuff that goes on in the back of my head, you know. You know, if the police knew that Chuck was really involved with my dad, they might be like, oh, maybe this is that old man stuff, you know. Do I call the police and say, hey, a guy died in June, he may have had some of my dad's stuff. Would it be that simple? Because we do think that Chuck probably has a bulk of the gun collection. Because most likely my mom and my dad got together and my mom said, Fred, they're going to take you away, they're going to put you in a state home unless you get rid of all those guns. And he said, oh, let me give them to Chuck, and Chuck will give it to me when the cops are gone, you know. That's our theory. It's a pretty good theory, but we have no way of validating any of it. No idea. No idea. So if we don't find large arsenal, we found some pew-pews, but nowhere near what my dad had. My dad was, I think, prepared for the apocalyptic Mad Max ending that some of the news outlets and magazines that he was watching and reading were telling him was coming. And I hope it's ridiculous fantasy, you know, obviously. But he was prepared. So it's not here. Unless he did like bury it or do something really, 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 really crazy with it, which maybe he did. We have no idea. We're still digging through the rubble. But yeah, I'm going to get the dining room squared. I'm going to enjoy some good coffee in my rather interesting... That's just pretty cool. I mean, I like mugs that have got something going on. You know, and that's very clearly like, you know, a still, like a cell from the cartoon. That's cool. But yeah, I'm going to get the dining room squared away. I'm going to be doing some food prep today. I got a big old thing in there that I got to prep for my girl. Just basic Italian chicken, diced, fried up. Get it nice and carameled, nice and bronzed. We got to pick up some prescriptions for our kids, which that's... Oh no, that's hard. Hopefully it won't be. You know, I'm saying that now. Hopefully it won't be incredibly complicated. I got some bills to prep and pay. Apparently they like that. I don't know what the big deal is. They're going to send me another one next month. It's never good enough. Try, man. Got some basic stuff to move around here and there. Love to do some eBay prep too. Get some eBays like scheduled. I've got 100+ listings that I could do, but they you know, they take a few minutes of prep. I've got templates set up, but it's still, you know, 5 to 20 minutes per listing depending on how smooth everything goes. I was doing an eBay listing last week, and a couple of Doctor Who figures. The Chris Eccleston figure, I don't know what he was drinking before the photo shoot. One of the most uncooperative action figures I've dealt with in quite a while. I wanted just to fire him on the spot and say, you know what, I'm going to call like David Tennant or something like that. You can be replaced, buddy. No, he was like, I'm the doctor. I can't be replaced. I was like, I'll think of something. I've had it with your attitude. I'm trying to do a shoot and you're over here like leaning on stuff and falling over. Get it together, man. Yeah. It's a rough morning. Anyway. Looking over, I've got like two lists here. One's my A list, the I need to do this today or should do this today, and the other one's some A list stuff, and then B's and C's and D's. I'm just like, yep, not bored. No. There is a lack of boredom. Sorry. One brick. Try not to stress out about the things I can't change, right? Focus on what I can. Focus on the brick. Alright. I'm going to call it here. Yeah, still definitely that whole I just woke up not too long ago kind of going on. Seeing evidence of the one brick stuff as I'm looking at stuff. I'm like, I got that done. That's partially done. That's started. That's fixed, you know. And that part's encouraging, looking at what has been done and going, okay. You know, cross it off the list. Get that little endorphin rush. Yeah, kind of like that. No, not yet, I haven't. Critic. Alright. Yeah, the other day I was getting some serious stuff done. I don't know that I disturbed Tiny because it was loud out here, and part of me is like, I don't care if I disturb Tiny as many times as, you know, you got headphones, use them. Because I'm running around, I got the boombox over here, blasted out the Rent soundtrack, and then I listened to Jekyll and Hyde. Just getting stuff done. Very loud. And it was nice. Yeah. So, anywho. Make it a great day.